What's up guys, Cass here from GiveWave Studios, and on this one I'm just going to show you guys how to assemble your Promare Burnish Flame DIY kit. So comes in a package, usually assembled, unless this comes off during shipping. As you can see, it looks like it floats in your hand, and then you're also going to get your lights for it. So in order to install your lights, you want to take this apart. I wouldn't pull by the stem, at least not very hard. There are two little rounded tabs on the edge here, so if you can put your fingers around those and just kind of shimmy the plate out. It is a pressure fit, so some will be stiffer than others, but you can just kind of like wiggle it out. Now that you have this out, you want to grab your lights and unravel. Once you have your lights unraveled, you can go ahead and pull this little clear tab out. This is to protect the battery. Now, some of these lights will come with the clear tab, some won't. But if you do have a clear tab, make sure you take it out and then just turn it on to make sure your lights work on and off. All right, now we got that out of the way. You're gonna grab the cord and you're gonna slide it to the side of the battery pack. Okay, and the reason why we do this is because there is a slot in the base specifically for the side of the battery pack that has a string. Now if you look at both sides here and here, you'll notice that there's a little divot on this one, so that's where this goes. So you want to go put this in with the side that doesn't have the rope first on the inside, and then slide the part with the rope on the other side, and then you can push this in as far as you want. And then what you want to do is just kind of hold the string against the side of the battery and then start wrapping this around. You're going to wrap your lights around the battery. Okay, so this is one way of doing it, where you have everything wrapped around the same side. Now what can happen when you wrap the lights around is that you might end up with more blues on one side and more reds on the other. As you can see clearly, almost all of my blues are on this side, reds are on the other side. So what you can do is leave your lights on while you're wrapping. That way you can purposely put your lights as sparse as you want them to be. Okay. Another way that we can do lights is, open this one. Okay. As you can see here, I've wrapped the lights and then I left a little bit and I wrapped them in kind of like a standing motion, so they just kind of like float on the inside there. Okay, and once you're done, you do want to make sure that all of your LEDs are facing out. Okay, so just go back in and just kind of like adjust the position of everything. That way you get more brightness out of your piece. So if I am to put this one back in, and then I can show you the difference between the two styles when I turn them on. And so when you do put this in, you want to put it in this way, like so. And then once you get inside, you want to twist towards the two opened edges there, and then just slide that into place. Okay, so let's turn them on. Okay, so as you can see, I have the majority of my light concentrated here, and I have more blue here and more red there, whereas this one is a little bit more equal because I purposely, when I was wrapping, just kind of went back in, wrapped it with the lights on. And also you'll see here that it lights up more of the flame, as opposed to here it only kind of lights up to here. So the little string situation on the inside is definitely super helpful to get an overall glow to your part. And that's basically it as far as assembly is concerned. So now I'll show you guys a couple of tips and tricks to kind of embellish the outside if you want to do so. But before I go into that, another thing worth mentioning is that your new prop is glow in the dark. So if you hit it with some UV light, or maybe after you've turned on your lights for an extended period of time and you turn them off, especially if you're in the dark, you'll notice that it has a nice green glow to it. So with or without your lights, as in like if your batteries are dead, it can still glow, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's talk about some techniques to make the outside a little prettier. As you can see in this, you guys can tell that there's a slight like pearlized glaze on the outside of this one, whereas this one is just the raw one. This is exactly what you would get. So this I just did with a clear coat over the 3D print, a couple of clear coats just to kind of even it out a little bit, and then I used airbrush with a translucent color, shift color, to give it that kind of like purple to green type of look. And I'll have links in the description of the products that I use for this one in particular. So that's one look that you guys can do. Another thing that you can do is, because this is super geometric, you can use some masking tape to copy out the different sections. So I'll just give you guys an example of this real quick. I'll grab this piece and I'll just copy something easy like this piece right here. Okay, so go over that with your piece, and you're gonna want to press on the edges there to make sure that you can really see where your lines start and end. Okay, and then with that done, with an X-Acto, you can kind of go in and slice right on the lines to now have kind of a pattern for that particular part. And then what you can do with your pattern, you can mask this and lightly paint it, you know, green in some parts and pink in others, so that you can replicate the Promare look that's in the movie. Or you can also use your patterns to grab maybe like some cellophane, this kind of like very pretty translucent cellophane. And now with my pattern figured out, I can grab some scissors, I can cut that out, and then I can just reface the surface with this new piece. And I can do that for all of the panels. And the cool thing about this is the two sides are symmetrical, so whatever patterns you have for here, you can use them for the other side. Just flip your part, I guess, if you need to. Okay. And then I can take this off, and you can glue this back on. You can spray your part with like a Super 77 and glue the parts back on, or you can use maybe like Gorilla Glue. Just for the sake of the video being a little quicker, I'm just gonna put a couple of dabs of Gorilla Glue. Okay, so I have my little dabs. Press that down and hold it so that it can glue a little bit. So you can do this with crazy glue or any type of CA glue. You can also do kind of like a reflective vinyl that you can get from like a craft store or something like that, and just recreate all the facets on the outside so that you have a cleaner look. Now, obviously, this will look way better if you do it with something that is somewhat translucent, so that you don't lose the aspect of the lights. But yeah, that's a cool way that you can kind of dress the outside of the part if you feel like going that route. You can also stuff the inside of your part with this same type of cellophane wrap, and what that's going to help is add a little bit of diffusion. As you can see, I can clearly tell where the individual LEDs are in this one, but in this one, not so much. I don't know if you guys can tell, right? Yeah, so pretty individual. This one a little bit more diffused. Reason for that being is that, and this one in particular, I have that cellophane just kind of stuffed on the inside, so it helps the light just kind of bounce around and be distributed more evenly inside of the prop, so that you don't get any hot spots. So yeah, again, this was a quick one on just how to use your new prop and how to potentially just kind of take it up a notch. All right, this has been Cass from GiveWave Studios, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.